Hi there, welcome to the channel. Today we have another episode of Wednesday where they are in the car. So let's watch first of all with subtitles, then we are going to look at the grammar part and vocabulary, and finally our final goal is to be able to understand without any subtitles use. Okay, so let's begin with the stage number 1.
Darling, how long do you intend on giving us the cold shoulder?
Lurch, please remind my parents that I'm no longer speaking to them.
I promise you, my little viper, you will love Nevermore. Won't you, Tish?
Of course.
Okay, so that is super small, but the episode has a lot of interesting facts to be speaking about. Let's have a look. Okay. Darling, how long do you? And here, да, дорогая, как долго ты? Намеренно дальше. Как нам сказать намеренно? Вообще, well, actually, Matisha here makes a mistake. Look, so instead of intend to do something, like here we see from the Cambridge Dictionary, she uses intend on and gerund she uses. Well, sometimes native speakers do make some mistakes, and who we to judge them? Come on, we are not native speakers after all. But, well, there are some other resources where these grammar aspects are discussed, and it is said that it is really a mistake. So that's why, guys, I advocate here the correct option of the language. And so here we intend to go to Australia next year, for example. And that's why we're gonna use here intend to do something, намереваться, yeah, like when we have some intention, word formation, словообразование, intention, намерение, and then we may use also adjective, intentional, and adverb, intentionally, намеренно. Darling, how long do you intend to? And next, демонстративно, sorry for my Russian, нас игнорировать. Как долго ты намерена демонстративно нас игнорировать? И здесь я использую свое плечо. Why? Because there is this phrase give a cold shoulder. Это намеренно кого-то игнорировать, like in the picture. Давать холодное плечо. Isn't it cool? So it is already high-level English. It is C1 into C2 level. Okay, so, and next one, Lurch Wednesday saying, please remind my parents that я больше не разговариваю с ними. И больше что-то не делать, это no longer. Да, конструкция у нас no longer. That I'm no longer speaking to them. So actually speak to somebody, we may say, or speak with somebody. The first one, we speak to, it is more British version, while speak with, it is the American one. Okay, no longer больше не. Look here, speak to mainly UK and speak with mainly US. So after you see that we have some practical part and we will be translating with you too. Okay, and the final one is about question tags. So it is her father, Wednesday's father, who's using this question tag. Okay, it's her mother reaction. I promise you, my little viper. By the way, guys, do you know what viper is? Viper, it is гадюка. Not just like usual snake, but гадюка. Моя маленькая гадюка. You will love Nevermore. Ты полюбишь Nevermore is the school for outcasts. Не так летишь. И здесь он обращается уже к супруге, к своей, не к дочке. И здесь у нас интересный будет won't she teach, да, won't she, не так ли, won't she teach? Okay, yeah, let's now practice. Intend to do, намереваться что-то делать. Итак, поехали. Правительства двух стран намерены продолжать тесное экономическое сотрудничество. Okay, the governments of two countries. И здесь мы используем intend to. continue, продолжать, например, можно использовать carry on, keep doing or keep on doing, go on doing, тоже можно это все варианты использовать. Intend to continue. И используем close, здесь прилагательное тесное, a close, economical, economical, это как экономически, как когда мы хотим сэкономить деньги. That's why here economic and cooperation. Like that, the governments of two countries intend to continue a close economic cooperation. Окей, у меня нет никаких плохих намерений. Guys, how would you say that? Think a bit. Okay, nice option. I have no bad intentions. I have no bad intentions. Like that, so like intention. Lovely. It is the first position that we needed to discuss. The second one. Давать холодное плечо, либо намеренно игнорировать. Give a cold shoulder. Мне не нравится, когда ты намеренно игнорируешь меня. Лучше все обсудить. Итак, поехали. I don't like. Можно использовать так. You giving. Когда ты мне дающий. Giving me a cold shoulder. И здесь я бы точку поставила. И сильный такой you. И сильный совет бы использовала. With better. Discuss everything. We'd better discuss everything. Like that. Would better. It is the construction that is stronger than should. Нам бы надо что-то обсудить. We'd better discuss everything. Okay, next one. No longer. Больше не. Он больше не живет здесь. Поехали. He no longer живет. Live. И помним эсочку, да, правило present simple. Here. He no longer lives here. Wonderful. Могу я поговорить с Фредом? Давайте как Wednesday скажем, она использовала более британский вариант. Can I speak to Fred? Can I speak to Fred? Very easy, right? Okay, question text. Now, by the way, guys, we have the whole lesson dedicated to this question text. So, like, if you haven't looked yet, but you struggle maybe with some moments, so I would recommend giving it a shot. Окей, ты бывал во многих странах, не так ли? You have visited, посетил можно использовать, many countries. And, comma, не так ли? So when we have in the first part positive sentence, in the second one the tag will be negative, and vice versa. When in the first part we have negative, a negative sentence, in the second one there will be the positive one. You have visited many countries, haven't you? Okay. Она не звонила тебе вчера, не так ли? She didn't call you yesterday. And on the channel we have a very thorough explanation of the difference between past simple and present perfect. So please have a look if you struggle with the understanding what is the difference when we can use past simple and when it is the only right version to use present perfect, for example. She did not call you yesterday, did she? Okay. Ему понравится Португалия, не так ли, Том? He will, or he'll, like Portugal. Комма, не так ли? И Том, да, вот здесь можно вот так вот использовать. He will like Portugal, как у нас в эпизоде было, like we had in the episode. Won't he? Tom? It is like Homer used like this option when he was speaking to Matisha about Wednesday fondness of Nevermore. Okay, so we have finished the very first episode. We have 2 more to go. Let's keep doing it.
Won't she, Tish?
Of course you will. It's the perfect school for her.
Why? Because it was the perfect school for you? I have no interest in following in your footsteps, becoming captain of the fencing team, queen of the dark prom, president of the Seance Society.
I merely meant that finally you will be among peers who understand you. Maybe you'll even make some friends.
Nevermore is like no other boarding school. It's a magical place. It's where I met your mother. And we fell in love.
Okay, so like that is the episode number 2. Okay, so they continue having their conversation. Of course, it's the perfect school for her. Matisha is saying, why? Because it was the perfect school for you. Wednesday reacts, мне не интересно идти по твоим стопам. Выражение, expression, follow in somebody's footsteps and have no interest in doing something. Of course, we have a bunch of collocations which we need to get remembered when we are aiming at higher level of English, like have no interest in doing something. It's one of them. So like when you were at A2/B1 level, it is the synonym of not be interested in doing. So like firstly you studied this word and now it is the time to conquer this expression already. Okay, so like I have no interest in following it in your footsteps. Becoming captain of the fencing team. Fencing, it is the sport which Wednesday is going to be doing later in the movie. So yeah, фехтование, fencing team. Queen of the dark prom. Prom, it is the party for teenagers when they are graduating, for example, or when just like they just usually have this dancing and socializing together. President of the Seance Society, президента вот этого какого-то общества Seance. Я всего лишь имела в виду, что finally, наконец-то ты будешь среди своих, и здесь слово сверстники. Okay, всего лишь, how to say it всего лишь, what do you think? Okay, there is a very good word, it is B2 level, one, merely. So it's like only, you see here, guys, I merely meant, я всего лишь имела в виду. Speaking about this word, the other day we had some grammar practice with one of my advanced students, and we had this kind of task. Yeah, for those of you guys who want to have a look at this really complicated paper, so like you may download it to your computer. All my materials are free of charge, and give it a try and to do this complicated exercise. Okay, so like and look at position 6 here. Barely, merely, hardly, and slightly. Yes, and here we have almost supernatural feats, such as the breaking a concrete blocks by using the edge of their hand. Да, вот так вот. Могут разбивать, так вот прям супер вообще такие, прям фит, это как подвиг здесь идет. Такие, как разбивать concrete, это сделанные из бетона блоки, только используя вот эту вот сторону edge of their hand. So like the correct answer is merely. So and without knowing that merely has the same meaning as only, and well, it's really complicated to choose the correct answer. So like that's why Wednesday words, they're really handy also for the practical part in use of English, for example. Okay, good. Next one, peers. Lovely words. Peers, it means сверстники. So like I know that only a few students are familiar with this word, and so just take it into your collection, okay? So, who understands you? Maybe you'll even make some friends. Возможно, ты даже заведешь друзей. Окей, Nevermore не похоже ни на одну другую boarding school. Boarding school it is the school where students both live and are being educated. So it is like Hogwarts, yes, school. И здесь не похоже ни на одну другую. Nevermore is like no other boarding school. Okay, it's a magical place. Это магическое место. It's where I met your mother and we fell in love. И мы впали в любовь, то есть влюбились. Okay, so that's great. Now let's start our practical part. Мне неинтересно разговаривать о его проблемах. И поехали, новую конструкцию используем. I have no interest in speaking about his problems. Of course, you may have the other versions. It is absolutely okay. As we had been told at uni, there are the same number of translators as there are translations. So, no big deal. Ты бы хотел идти по стопам родителей и стать доктором? Okay. Would you like to follow in your parents? И здесь у нас внимательно like this will be, да, родители во множественном числе, поэтому apostrophe is at the end. Parents' footsteps. And become, remember about articles, a doctor. Good. Lovely. Merely. Я всего лишь предложил. Ты можешь отказаться. I've merely suggested. So, actually, there are three options how to say предлагать. Offer, propose, suggest. But suggest has the idea in the meaning. So, like, suggest an idea, some idea. Ты можешь отказаться. You can refuse. Okay, lovely. Peers, сверстники, also sometimes in some topics that are studied at schools, you may come across this meaning, like peer pressure, давление социальное какое-то, как сверстников also. Подростки особенно уязвимы перед лицом социального давления. Do you remember, by the way, the other version of подростки that we were discussing last time in the first part of Wednesday? If you answered adolescence, that is the correct one. Okay, let's use it here, okay? Adolescents are especially vulnerable. So like vulnerable, это уязвимый. Vulnerability, уязвимость. Are especially vulnerable facing, когда сталкиваясь, да, facing peer pressure. That is my option of translation. Okay. Adolescents are especially vulnerable facing peer pressure. Good. Like no other. Не похож ни на что. Она слепа от любви, как мы это передадим, и говорит, что он один такой. Okay. She is слепа. It is blinded. She is blinded with love and says, present simple, yeah, she says that he is like no other. Like no other. Good. So, we like 8 out of 10 we have already studied. Only 2 more to go. Let's watch the episode now.
You guys are making me nauseous. not in a good way.
Darling, we aren't the ones who got you expelled. That boy's family was going to file attempted murder charges. How would that have looked on your record?
Terrible. Everyone would know I failed to get the job done.
Okay, wonderful. So let's study a bit. Like that's the one that we have already discussed. You guys are making me его тошнит, yeah, nauseous when this says. Also, you need to know nausea and the word formation nauseous out of it. Okay? So, not in a good way. И это как бы не хорошим образом. So, like, it's a bit of dark humor here. Darling, we are not the ones who got you. Исключать из школы. You need also, guys, to know this word. Expel – исключать из школы. Expulsion – это исключение. Expel – expulsion. Okay, and like the rest is, well, I decided not to have it examined. That boy's family was going to file attempted murder charges. Собирались подать вот заявление в суд, file charges. And attempted murder – это такое убийство, которое хотели совершить. Attempt – попытка. How would that look on your record? И как же это выглядело на твоем личном деле record? Terrible, says Wednesday. Everyone would know I failed to get the job done. Fail не получилось, да, сделать какую-то такую работенку. So once again, it's dark humor here. Okay, and the final translation practice here. Иногда его тошнит в машине. He is feeling nausea. Он как чувствует тошноту. When, когда he is in the car. Okay. Признаки инфекции в этом году: тошнота, слабость и высокая температура. The signs of the infection, this year infection, можем так сказать. Are nausea, weakness. By the way, these words we were examining in the first video. And high temperature or fever. Okay, and the last one, expel, expulsion. Он, вероятно, будет исключен, если не сдаст экзамены. Okay, so like likely, be likely to do something, и be unlikely to do something. He is likely to be expelled if he fails to pass his exams. Wonderful. He is likely to be expelled. Вероятно, его исключат. Это пассивный у нас инфинитив идет. Его, вероятно, исключат, если он завалит экзамены. If he fails to pass his exam. Джону пригрозили исключением из университета. John, давайте результат покажем, has been threatened to be expelled from the university. Lovely. So we have accomplished our practice. So like now the only thing that is left is to watch the whole episode without any subtitles. Let's give it a shot. And we are deactivating the subtitles right now.
Darling, how long do you intend on giving us the cold shoulder?
Lurch, please remind my parents that I'm no longer speaking to them.
I promise you, my little viper, you will love Nevermore. Won't you, Tish?
Of course you will. It's the perfect school for her.
Why? Because it was the perfect school for you? I have no interest in following in your footsteps, becoming captain of the fencing team, queen of the dark prom, president of the Seance Society.
I merely meant that finally you will be among peers who understand you. Maybe you'll even make some friends.
Nevermore is like no other boarding school. It's a magical place. It's where I met your mother. And we fell in love.
You guys are making me nauseous. Not in a good way.
Darling, we aren't the ones who got you expelled. That boy's family was going to file attempted murder charges. How would that have looked on your record?
Terrible. Everyone would know I failed to get the job done.
Alright, and so like here we have finished. It was the video for upper intermediate students aiming at advanced. So like if you haven't understood much from this video, I suggest that you have a look at A2 level, getting into B1. So like we have a bunch of videos already there, and from A2 A0 level to A2 level. So, and for those of you who want to have lessons specifically with me, you can click the button to write to me on Telegram, and we'll discuss the options. So for today we are finishing. My big pleasure to be teaching you. See you in the following videos. Bye for now.